What is going on, good people of YouTube? It is me, Chavez. I'm back with another day. I'm not bringing you another day. I don't have that kind of power, but we are back with another day, with another player prop talk live stream here on the channel. As always, I hope this finds you doing well and in good spirits. So I hope you all had a good weekend. Hope you all had a good Monday. I forgot what day it was. It's Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I keep meaning to put a taco logo or something on my thumbnail, but I just forget. So we all know what day it is. Taco Tuesday, time to chalk some slips. Nah, I hope these tacos do well for us today. We should have a lot to talk about today. Player props, recap from the weekend. Last time we were on stream, we built out a slip. I believe we did build out a slip with Josh Green. That was a Sunday, so we did do a stream on Sunday. We'll go over that slip. If you tell that slip specifically, you already know what the result was, but we'll go over it anyway. Choco Tuesday, that's a good one, Vibes. What's up? Good morning. Yeah. Come join the Discord. DM me. We'll go over that here in a few minutes. But as always, we'll get things popping in the normal way. #bless. As always, we start off with this incredibly morbid statistic, but it is what it is. 10% of the US population dies every single day, every single night in their sleep. So #bless. If you are watching this or seeing this, hearing this, you are not dead. At least I don't think you're dead. So #bless. Do something cool today. Try not to overuse the #bless for everything, but I think waking up is a pretty good one. Today's attitude. I always talk about attitude is super important, especially when we're talking player props, because it's such a volatile, uncontrollable thing at times. We don't know what's going to happen, and no matter how smart you are, how much edge and leverage you think you're creating, doesn't always bounce your way. So attitude is super important. Choosing your attitude is even more important. Not letting other things dictate what that is or shape it for you. People, events, circumstances. So choosing your attitude is pretty important, especially with player props. Today, my attitude is all about frequency. Winning thoughts create winning mindset. Pretty simple. And I chose this Randy Orton gif. He always looked like he was in tune with his thoughts. He always looked like he had a winning mindset, especially in his in-ring intro. That was one of my favorite intros. And anytime he held a belt or two belts, he'd flip them back. That was a really cool intro. So yeah, frequency, all about frequency, creating that the right frequency, being in tune with those thoughts, will equal a pretty good mindset, in my opinion. So let's get this going. Got the right attitude. Coming off a pretty good day yesterday in the Discord. We'll get into Discord winnings and whatnot here in a minute, but it was pretty good. Let's get it going. Speaking of pretty good, better. First time deposit match up to 250. Pretty good deal there. That is my QR code. Scan it. And I wonder, let me scan my own QR code, because I've actually never scanned this. Not every pick'em site offers you QR codes. So yeah, it works. That's good. Probably should have tested that before I put it on the screen, but I trust better. First time deposit match up to 250. That's my code. Scan it, and then you will be able to take advantage of that. Pretty good time to join on BETR if you're looking for a different pick'em site to play on. It's always wise to have multiple pick'em sites. But Kyrie promo is still in effect. In fact, Kyrie promo will be in effect throughout the entirety of the NBA Finals. So As a Celtics fan, I hope we don't see this promo longer than 4 games. But in the event it does go longer than 4 games, I'm all about promos. 0.5 points is the promo, so you would take the over on that one and just pair it up with one other play at least. You can build out a slip if you want, but if you just want to pair it up and go for it there, I think that's a pretty good strategy to build some bankroll. Only a $5 allowance on this one, so you're not able to put 25 bucks on it like you are with the tacos on PrizePicks. However, PrizePicks also doesn't run promos every single day. BETR pretty much does. So consider joining BETR. Again, QR code right there on the screen. You can also find the link in the stream description to join up on BETR. Let's talk about yesterday, and then we'll get into our slip from Sunday. I do want to share some winnings that happened in the Discord yesterday. It was pretty strong day over in the Discord. Pretty good weekend overall, to be honest with you. Checking out our winning slips here in the Discord. Trying to scroll up to Sunday was the 9th. Yeah. Yeah, we had some pretty good wins in the Discord. Yeah, we had some really strong slips, sweeps, double ups in the Discord. And then yesterday, this is when I played. We talked about this one. So we talked about this one on Sunday. Washington over his fantasy points, Hardy under points. The only one that chalked was Porzingis. Man, I really like the over on this one because we were getting it at a 3-point less, a line that was 3 point less than what PrizePicks had it. So I love the over on this one. Real similar to what we were seeing for PJ Washington. Much lower line over on BETR. So I took a shot on Porzingis. Had I gone under, that would have hit for, I don't know, a little over 200, but instead I just got the 1.5. So that was a little disappointing. Menace almost with the clean sweep yesterday. Alyssa Thomas with the rebound putback. That sucks. My BETR slip yesterday, I had 2 DNPs. There's not much you can do about that. So had I had these guys played and hit their line or not hit their line, we would have been looking at another 2.5 on this one. Swept it on underdog. Dakota Hudson did push the walks, but sweep nonetheless. Swept it on PrizePicks yesterday for a 6 on a 6 pick. Swept it on a 5 pick or another 6 pick there. I did take the under on Judge. I don't know. Maybe I lucked out by him not playing. Maybe he would have won over and I wouldn't have even cashed that one, but I took the under on his fantasy points. They're just getting too high. They're getting too high. And then I always like to share this in the Discord because it just shows it's validation. But pretty good day on PIKKIT. So PIKKIT tracks all your slips. There's no way to lie and manipulate PIKKIT. So you just sync up your accounts and whatever you play, it tracks it. It keeps track of your bankroll, keeps track of your profit, and there's really no way to to lie to yourself about how good or how not good you're doing. So pretty good day on PIKKIT yesterday. Overall, pretty good day. Sharing these slips in the Discord, sharing these picks in the Discord, and up on the month. So pretty happy about that. Pretty happy about that, no doubt. If you're looking to join Discord, 3 options: 10-day pass, $9.99. That's $1 a day. You can go for the full month. That's $19.99. However, if you're a Discord member from my previous Discord, the free player prop Discord, and I know who was in that Discord because I have the list, the join list. But yeah, you get a 10% up to 15% discount on your monthly. So you can take advantage of that, or you can just pay it out for the full year, save 20% off that full year, which is the best offer. That we got going in the Discord. So those are your 3 options. You can just DM me if you have any questions. You can get it done. We do have a slip to look at over on PrizePicks. Let's transition over to the to my slips on PrizePicks, because we did build out a slip on Sunday, and we were so close. We were so close on this one. Josh Green, which I thought was one of the most consistent plays of the finals of the playoffs. This guy was hitting a 3 in pretty much every game. I think he had an 80% hit rate of just hitting a 3. And I think that game on Sunday was the first game in 5 games he had not hit a 3. He did score. I think he scored 4 points, 5 points, but he got fouled on a 3. He got 3 free throws, made 2 of those, but that doesn't count. So instead of cashing out on a 25x, we cash out with a 2x. So it's a huge drop off from, 25x to 2x is not that great, but you gotta just take the profit when you get it. Nothing wrong with a 2x, but it is a little frustrating when you see how close you were. That's super frustrating. It's very frustrating, but that was our slip we built out on Sunday. Reynolds comes through, Vaughn comes through, Tatis comes through. It looked pretty bad for Daniel Gafford in that first half, right? He was very like scarcely used. He just didn't have a whole lot of impact, and then things really turned around in the second half. So he crushed this line. We talked about this one on the stream. This is one of those plays where you just play the over or you just stay away from it. Even when the odds or books say take the under, which a few books did have action on the under, it really just wasn't making a whole lot of sense. So if you feel differently than the odds, then you play the over. If you're scared or just don't want to take a shot, then just leave it alone. But taking the under on something that's been so consistent, it just felt like the right move. Same thing with the Josh Green. I'd play the over on his 3s again. I'd play him again. I'll play him again in game 3, but we were getting all the right information on that one. It just didn't work out. But such is life. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this going. We're already on the PrizePicks dashboard, so we're just going to stick here and just transition right into today's plays. Let's talk about them. I've been putting slips and picks out in the Discord since 6-ish this morning, 6:15, 6:20, something like that. Here is a slip that I built out and shared in premium. The plays are still left on the PrizePicks board. So if you want to just tail these or just like screenshot it, whatever you want to do. Horford over turnovers, Tatum over rebounds, Brown under rebounds and assists, Rengifo under his total bases. We have a CS2 play in there, crazy under his first 2 map kills, and then Showtime under his 27.5 maps, 1-2 kills. So that is a 6 pick. You can put as much money on it as you want. I think I put 10 on this one. We'll clear the board. Let's do it. Hope everybody's doing well. So if you're new to the stream, new to the channel, I appreciate you being here. We've come to the time where we are just going to start taking player prop questions. So if you have a question, if you have a player prop you want to dig into, throw it in the chat. Let's get it going. We use props.cash here on the stream. So if you're wondering how we break plays down or where we're getting our information, we use props.cash to break down all of our player props. So props.cash. Thanks 25 is your promo code, get you 25% off your first month, and then every month after that it's back up to full price. Not a bad deal at all, especially if you're profiting and you're winning. Then you just start pulling your monthlies out of your winnings. So you use your winnings as almost like a paycheck, like a bankroll, and you deduct your props.cash. You deduct your monthly for the Discord, and if you're profiting, you should be, then you don't skip a beat. You just keep making money. So you really don't even see really don't even see that come out. But Thanks25 is a promo code. At least for the first month, you'll get a discount on everything that Props.Cash offers. If you've never seen Props.Cash used in real time, stick around. We use it every stream in real time. We use all the tools to break everything down. So kind of like a tutorial, a walkthrough. You should have a very, very good idea how to use Props.Cash after watching one of my live streams. All right, back over to PrizePicks. Let's do this. So yeah, I want to pull up maybe a couple plays from my slip or from my picks in the Discord. I don't want to give them all away, but I will reference a couple. You already saw the slip that I built out previously, so that's like a free slip right there. We talked about Jason Tatum over his rebounds. Josh Green was up on the PrizePicks board at over 0.5 threes made, and he's not anymore. I don't know where you're going to be able to find that one, but wherever you can find it, I think the over is a solid play. Go right back to the guy who chalked our slip. That's how we do it. All right, a couple WNBA plays. If they're still up on the board, let's skip on over to that tab and let's see if we can find the same lines here. Collier's in play, although Collier did have a pretty strong game. The last time I took the under on her rebounds, she had 14. So now her line is still set to 10.5. Bit of a different matchup today versus the Aces than the matchup versus the Storm. So looking to take the under on her rebounds. That's one. Jackie Young going over on her rebounds. So this kind of correlates. You like the under on Collier. You attack the other side with players who are going to pull rebounds away from Collier. Jackie Young's one of them. Obviously, Asia Wilson's the other one that you can look to. And then Kelsey Plum had a nice assist line at 4.5. So does Skylar Diggins-Smith at 5.5. Now I don't know if you want to play all these in the same slip because they do kind of cannibalize each other, you know. At least with the rebounds, it is possible for both Diggins-Smith and Plum to go over assist line. If Seattle's scoring, you would assume that Diggins-Smith is a part of those points. You can literally play all four of these in the same slip. We would need one or two more to make it a profitable slip. 4 doesn't really pay out very well on a flex. So I got 4 WNBA plays that I do like. We can break these down over on props.cash. If there's one specific that you like over the other ones, we can just break that down. But yeah, feel free to throw a couple of your favorite plays in the chat and we'll break them down. And maybe we can just build a slip with these 4 as our core. And then we'll add a couple of your plays and then we'll build a slip live here. Let's see. Correa just got bumped up to 7.5. You're looking at his fantasy score. Was it at 6? Collier, under on Collier, over on Tina Charles rebounds, and then Kayla McBride first half under. Yeah, Kayla McBride is one that we have played in the past. Kind of like our little wagon in the first half under her first half PRA. Now, when we were playing the under on her first half PRA, I think her first half PRA was 13.5, something like that. So it's definitely come down a bit, but you can see at 13.5, it was just entirely too high. Not one game was she ever close. Even at the 13 line, had it been at 13.5, she would have still went under. The other 4 games, she failed to even crack double-digit PRA. And now we have a game versus the Las Vegas Aces, which is a pretty tough matchup. We can look to take the under on this one, but we'll definitely research it a little bit before submitting the slip. That gives us 5 plays right there. And then Tina Charles was the other one, looking to go over. Tina Charles rebounds right here. So these 6 can be put in a slip. And what we're going to do is we're going to head on over to the props.cash platform. And we are going to break these plays down. Again, if you've never seen props.cash used in real time before, this is what we're doing. This is it. Ta-da! Props.cash has an excellent mobile app for both iOS and Android. I sound like a damn salesman for them. I mean, if you join, I do get a little something from that, but not an employee of Props.Cash. But I appreciate good shit. I appreciate quality products and things that make my life easier. So I will continue to promote Props.Cash so long as they continue to pump out a good product. Their mobile app is very strong, very strong. All right, so we're in the WNBA tab over on Props.Cash. Let's pull up this Aces game because they have a few players from here. Let's quickly look at these rebounds for Jackie Young. She has a rebound prop of 4.5, not 18.5 points. No, we want to look at her rebounds. She's only projected for 4.44. However, the odds on this one are in favor of the over. When you take a look at the odds over on ESPN Bet, that's an over FanDuel, over Hard Rock, over on Bet Rivers, and PrizePicks. Again, we talked about this before, but PrizePicks will never give you any line favored towards either side. It's always going to be even, minus 137. I don't know why it's minus 137 and not minus 115 or whatever. But again, PrizePicks, their whole job is to make sure the line does not get too heavy to either side. So that's why you see it at minus 137. That they want to keep it at 50-50. Once that line starts to get cash coming in on the over or under, there's the imbalance. And then that is when you see PrizePicks bump it up or bump it down or take it down. So far, this one's not getting that much juice for it to be bumped, but it might at some point today. Looking at our last, we can look at our last 10 games, but we're only really focusing on these 8 because these 2 are from last season or finals. Yeah, WNBA finals here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of her first 8 games. This WNBA season, she's crushed this line. 2, she's gone well under. We're getting good odds. We're getting good numbers over the last 8 games. Head-to-head with the Minnesota Lynx. Didn't start off all that well, dating back to 2022, but we do have one game so far this year where these 2 teams have faced off, and she did hit with 5 rebounds. So you're getting a positive game log versus the team that she's playing today. You're getting positive last 5, positive last 10. You're also getting favorable odds. So this one looks good to me. Sticking in the same game, we could take a look at the under on Collier's rebounds at 10.5. Now her numbers versus the last, I almost said the Aces, but this is just her last 5. No, her numbers last 5 pretty strong. She's averaging 12 rebounds in those 5 games. However, you notice the one game where she did not go over this line was against the Aces. So she did finish with 9 rebounds, which is a pretty strong day. It didn't get the job done for her rebounds, but what about PRA? Did it help her PRA in that game? Yeah, she goes over PRA. So 9 rebounds helped her get the over on the PRA. It just didn't get the over on her line. So she does need 11 rebounds today. Head-to-head matchup with the Vegas Aces. What am I looking at here? What did I just see? Okay, I'm sorry. That's not Vegas. That's the Sparks, the LAS and LAV. So scrap everything I just said. 4 out of the last 5 games. The one game she did not go over was against the Sparks. They need to change that shit up. Maybe make it like different abbreviation. Anytime I see LAS, I think Las Vegas. Anyway, in the game against Vegas here, she had 13 boards. So she has gone over this line versus the Aces. Man, that was a mess. When we look at her head-to-head, prior to that, though, she had 4 straight games of going under. So I'm not ready to call this one like a turnaround where after one game now, all of a sudden she starts grabbing, 11 plus rebounds. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but we talk about this all the time. What goes down must come up. What goes up must come down. It's just the law. At some point, she was due for a game where she didn't go under, and it's done. We see this in the finals. We've seen it every series in the NBA playoffs where if a player is really struggling, there's that one game where they're going to pop off. And we see it pretty much every series. So this is her pop-off game, and we see her go back down to 10 or less. That's what I think. She is projected for 11.51 rebounds. However, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books that like the under and confidently liking the under, all with -1, at least -130 to the under, which are pretty strong odds. This one might get bumped down to 10. And then if you want at 10, try to take the over. I don't know. Yeah, I would say play the under at 10.5. And then if it gets bumped down, just leave it alone. Just go find something else. So her rebounds look strong for the under. Let's take a look at Plum's assists. 4.5 assists for Kelsey Plum. She was on a nice little streak of unders there, and then she did bounce back against this team. So Minnesota was the get right for her. 6 assists in that game. In her last 5, just 3 out of 5, but still a winning hit rate there. Does look good when one of those games is against the team she's playing today. Last 10. Again, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 7 out of 9 games she's gone over this. These numbers just look really good. She's projected for 5 assists. You can see that there. And then this one might get bumped. ESPN bet has it at -165 to go over. That's a little inflated, but FanDuel, these are pretty reasonable odds, but -136, 135, 132, 145. And you notice that there's very minimal juice to the under. It's possible this one gets bumped up to 5. I love it at 4.5. So if you want to play it at 4.5 with me, you can. But at 5, you're missing out at 4.5. Tina Charles. What she play for, Atlanta? Yeah. So Tina Charles over 8.5 rebounds. Bit of a mixed bag here. We're not seeing as much consistency with this. Last 5 games, she has a 40% hit rate, just 2 out of those 5 games. But hooked and hooked, she's very close. Just one more rebound. Just one more rebound in those 2 games, and this looks like a completely different game log. Looking at her last 10, I mean, let's say she does go over this line. I mean, you're looking at a 70% hit rate versus a 50% hit rate. Now, her numbers versus the Mystics have not been all that great. Just 2 out of the last 7 meetings she's gone over this. But man, what a way to go over with 15 rebounds. It's possible she puts up a number like that again. It's hard to predict that high of a number, but the matchup is there for her. The odds, you're getting a lot of kind of muddy odds here. 110 over, 120 under, 115, 120, 115, 125. You're seeing juice to either side, and the lines aren't really separated by all that much. This one's a little muggy. Now, this one was originally at 7.5. So it may take a little while for these numbers to start to, take form. But right now, what you're getting is just kind of an even split with this one. The matchup is there. The projections are there. The, I guess, most recent history is there. And I'm not even mad at her. I'm not even mad at her last 5. Okay. 2 out of her last 5. She's right there in a lot of these games. Not even mad about that one. Last one. Oh, we had Diggins Smith and Kayla McBride. They're both on the same team. So let's go back to this. And let's take a look at Diggins Smith assist at 5.5. Man, I gotta get better at recognizing this LAS and LAV. Every time I see LAS, I mean, I think of Las Vegas. That's the first three letters of the damn city, LAS. That's a little confusing to me. 2 out of her last 5 games, she has crushed this line of 5.5 assists. I mean, that's not even close. And then these other 3 games, she's just kind of like ho-humming it. Last 10 games, we're going to look at the last 10 games for her. She's gone over this in 40%. Her numbers against the Sparks, she's hooked it and then gone over in the last 2. But these games are from 2022. I don't know if we want to put too much stock into games that are 2 years old, over 2 years old. Her assists today are projected at 5.13, which is the hook. However, DraftKings, ESPN Bet like the over at both -130 or higher. FanDuel at -125. You have Hard Rock liking it at 130, 132 on Bet Rivers, 155 on Fliff. That's crazy. I don't know what's bringing in so much juice to the over on Fliff and not the same on these other books, but that's a pretty strong number there. You are getting a little juice to the under -105, not too much. I don't think it's anything to worry about, especially when you're getting odds at -135 or higher. So I know the game logs don't look good. I know her head-to-head doesn't look good, but this matchup with the Sparks, 12th in the WNBA at assists allowed per game, so giving up about 22 assists per game. She only needs 6, so she does need to account for like 47% of the assists that they're allowing per game. You know, I don't think they'll finish with 21 assists as a team, but we do need her to have a huge part if this goes over. All right. Kayla McBride plays for the Lynx. We're going to look at her first half PRA because it's something that we were looking at a few weeks ago, but man, it is not like a fad. I mean, it's not like a one game, oh, she's having a bad. No, she just doesn't do it in the first half. You know, we talk about the differences between first and second half. For a lot of players, they really don't start off strong. It might be the rotation. It may be that, you know, other players eat first, or, you know, she's a guard, so maybe she gets the team going, you know, and then she takes over. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is that we have enough data here to create a strong take on this one. There's only 2 games where she's gone over. This line could have been at 17.5 first half. She would have went over. There's nothing you can do about that one. But this one, you know, she did squeak over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games in between these 2 games where she hit the under. 3 games under. So what it kind of feels like is there are going to be games where she does go over, and when it's all said and done in the regular season, she'll have like a 30% hit rate in the first half, because every 6 games or so, 7 games, she does go over. But in between those games, you got 5 games, 6 games where she's stacking unders. So the hit rate's going to be pretty low, but it'll add up a little bit more as the season goes on. But these are a lot of games where she's not even close. 11.5 is a number to take an under on. Pay attention to this one. Numbers against the Aces, this is also pretty significant. If you just want to focus on the last game where she put up 7 PRA in the first half, but these other 7 games, she's not even close. So you got a lot of data that likes the under on this one. I feel pretty good about taking the under on this one and putting it in a flex. So that's what we can do. We can literally just throw these plays into a slip and just move on. What's going on, Anthony? Good morning. Big T, what's up, man? So this is what we're going to do. We just researched. We just broke down Collier under rebounds, Young over rebounds, Plum over assists, Diggins Smith over assists, McBride under first half PRA, and then Charles over her rebounds. So that's it. We'll put this in a 6 pick, and we'll move on. right. T says that McBride's a second half player. They got to try to get Nessa going first. Yeah. So you see that a lot where, one player takes a back seat. We see it all the time in the NBA. T likes the over on McBride's assist. She's not up on the board. I wonder if she's on underdog. Ooh. So on underdog, they have Kayla McBride's assist at 3.5, and it's a 1.05 boost, I guess. 3.5 assist. So because it's being boosted, it's projected to go under. Let's look at that one real quick, because 3.5 seems really low to me. Maybe it's I'm sure it's for a reason. So yeah, 3.5 assists for Kayla McBride. She's gone over this in just one of her, oh my God, what am I trying to say here? She's gone over one time in the last 8 games they played each other. Holy crap, that was difficult. However, on the year, she has 6 overs, 4 unders. She's crushed this line. Last 5 games, we're seeing this kind of drop off. She's coming off a game where she had 1 assist, like Luka. Going back to the last seasons, anytime she had a game where she did not get you one assist, or she did not go over 1 assist, I want to say she bounced back, but bounce back today for her needs to be 4 assists, not 3. So okay, so these are all the games where she's gotten you 1 assist, right? So I mean, this is like, we're talking years and 2 years ago. However, it's consistent, right? So 1 assist, that's a bad little stretch here. 4 games, straight games of basically nothing. She bounces back. All right, so here's a good example of 1 assist, bounce back. 1 assist, and then she gets 0, and then she bounces back hard, right? 1 assist, bounce back. And then another little stretch where she's just going under. Let's fast forward. Let's just look at the last 15 games. So last 15 games, this is this year. 1 assist, bounce back. We can look at the last 30 games. It'll go into last season. So 1 assist, bounce back, no assist, bounce back, 1 assist, bounce back, 1 assist, bounce back. So we're seeing this nice little trend where she does bounce back. I think 3.5 is, I think that's where the number needs to be. I don't think it's too low. It feels too low, because 3.5 is a low number, but based off what we're seeing, there's a reason for it. At 3.5, I think it's worth a shot on underdog, and you're getting the payout boost on that one. I would flex that one. I wouldn't put it in a uninsured. I would insure it and put it in a 5 pick. Or you might want to put it in a 3 pick and go for that 6.05x, whatever boost you're going to get. Like, if we put that one in a 3 pick on the underdog, let's just pick 2 random players. That 3 pick, when you put it in a standard, it is now a 6.3x. So if you put 10 on it, it's a $63 payout versus a $60 payout. So not the best, payout. It's only $3 more. So you can go for that one, or you could just put it in an insured and just try to lock up a 5 or 6 man on underdog. Underdog is now running 6 pick flexes, and their payouts are a little better than PrizePicks. It's a 25x on a 6 pick, but but the payout for getting 5 out of 6 is 2.6, something like that, which is higher than PrizePicks. PrizePicks only gives you a 2x on those. So Underdog is making some changes to their format, and I like them. Anything that allows me to earn more money, I like. Yeah, so McBride over 3.5 assists on the Underdog is in play for sure. I don't know why it's not on PrizePicks. If it's getting such juice to go under, I would assume PrizePicks would have that up there, but they're not playing that. Anthony says, what's Collier's full game PRA at? Looking to go under unless under boards is the better play. Oh, you got it last night on PrizePicks, T? Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's on Underdog, and you're getting more money to play it on Underdog. I mean, they're paying us to play that play, basically. Collier, full game PRA. $35.5. 4 straight overs. I mean, she did crush against Vegas last game. Not Vegas. She did crush against Sparks last game. And I know her numbers against Vegas. I know her numbers against Vegas weren't poor. PRA. Okay, so no, she did not go over. She did not go over against the Aces in that last game. She did finish with 32. In her last 5 games, she is a 4 out of 5 player, 80% hit rates. And then in her last 10, yeah, there's that stretch where she just, I mean, that's a pretty, I mean, just with New York and Vegas in there, that's a 2 out of those 4 games pretty tough, you know? And they're kind of staggered in there to where you're not really getting a break. Like tough matchup against New York, you know, bit of an easier matchup against Atlanta, then right back to a tough matchup, you know. So I mean that'll wear you out. That'll wear you out. So there's that little stretch where she just didn't have it, but the outer layers of this sandwich, she's crushing. So today she needs 36 PRA to get the over on this one. She's projected for 37, which feels a little high because her numbers against Vegas, she's never gotten you over 32. So to see a projection that's almost 6 PRA over feels a little inflated. The odds also agree. -120, -130, -130, minus. Well, these two are basically the same. So there's a split right there. Bet Rivers is keeping it even. But these 3 books do like the under. -110, -110 on the over. So there's a little juice. I mean, you can take the under on her PRA because rebounds are a pretty big part of that. You know, she's averaging 11 rebounds in her last 10. Close to 50% of those games where she gets the over on her rebounds, she's getting the over on PRA. So, I mean, they're significantly linked to the over on her PRA. Now, she did go over on rebounds against the Aces, but went under PRA. So sometimes that happens where you're just not scoring enough points, or, you know, if you're only going to go out there and score, and I say only, 18 is a pretty strong number, right? But 18 and 13 don't get it done. That's a great double-double. That's a monster double-double. But 18 and 13 doesn't get it done, especially when you don't give, you know, dish any assists. So if you're failing to dish assist and your PRA is 35, I mean, you're going to need like a 20 and 16 kind of game. That's not happening. Not against the Aces, I don't think. So You can go under on both of those if you feel. Under on PRA sounds good, and then under on rebounds. Just like play both of them. Play one in the slip, play the other one in the slip, and just leverage. Let's see. Vibe says that Ezzy is the first half is a lock. She's the first half wagon. Let's look at it. Ezzy Magbagor. So we got a first half fantasy and first half points. So let's look at it. Who does she play for? She plays for Seattle. Did she get traded? Has she always been on Seattle? I don't know why I thought she played. I don't know why I thought she was in Dallas. Who's in Dallas? JOCKMKT's in Dallas. JOCKMKT's in Dallas. You got Nika. Well, there's two JOCKMKTs. They're twins, right? It's just confusing. Anyway, let's look at Ezzy's first half. So we're gonna look at her points first. Her points today are at 6.5. So she's gone over this line in 4 out of her last 10. Her last 5 games look a little bit better. That's a lot of fucking points in the first half, man. I mean, there's only 20 minutes in the first half for a WNBA game. So she's averaging almost a point per minute, and she's not playing all the minutes, right? So how many minutes did she play in the first half? She's averaging 16 minutes. So, I mean, damn, that's damn near a point per minute she's on the floor. That's pretty strong. So we're looking at her her points here in the last 5. She's averaging 9. Let me go to her rebounds. She's averaging 5, so that's 6 points. That's 15 right there. And then looking at her assists, so this is where it starts to drop off a little bit. About 16 fantasy points. And then this is it right here. So what she's lacking in assists and in some of those games, what she's lacking in scoring, and she's making up for it on the defensive end. So, I mean, we're about 16 fantasy points in right now. And she gets 1 steal or block. That's 19 fantasy points. She gets another one. That's 22. And she's not turning the ball over at all. So at 22 fantasy points, we take 2 points away for turnovers because you just maybe want to, get a step ahead of that. Then you're still at 20 fantasy points. So, look, I think this 18 fantasy score is in play. I don't know about her points because, like I said, in the games where she's not scoring a lot, she's making up for it with the steals and blocks. So it's easy for her to go over fantasy score without all the points because she's doing a little bit of everything. I think her fantasy score is the safest one out of those two, even though it's a higher number. I mean, she goes out there and gets you 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals and blocks. That's going to piss you off if you take the over on her points, So I think her fantasy score is in play. Her first half fantasy is in play. Yeah, she gets so many blocks and steals. It's ridiculous. She's not her PRA is not up on PrizePicks for the first half. That's why we're looking at her fantasy though. But I wonder if it's on Underdog. So we got 13. Okay, so 3.5 first quarter points. So her points on Underdog are 6 first half points and 4 first half rebounds. I mean, those are flat numbers, so there's push potential, but 6 first half points. At 6, she's only gone under 6 3 times. She's gone over 6 4 times. She's pushed 3. 6 is a lot better number than 6.5. I mean, that 0.5 makes a really big difference. So you can look at that one, and then 4 first half rebounds. So there's a reason why Underdog has these numbers where they have them, because she's not going over 4 in a lot of games. So yes, 4 games she's gone over. 4 games she's gone over 4. But you got 3, 4, 5, 6 games where she has not gone over 4. Yes, these are pushes, but they're not 5s. So if this was at 3.5, that's a lock. Give me the over. If this was at 4.5, I may be tempted to take the under on this one. But it's right at 4. So I think there's a huge possibility that this one pushes. Same thing with her points. So at 6.5, maybe you stay away from them. Or 7.5, you stay away from them. But at 6.5 on PrizePicks, you know, it's not looking all that great. At 6 on Underdog, same thing. So I think the 6 points offers a bit more upside, because there are less games where she's gone outright under. 3, 5, and 3. 3 pushes and 4 overs. Nah. They're even, I guess. Play whatever you want. I don't really think either of them have much appeal, to be honest with you. I would just stick to a first half PRA or first half fantasy where you could find it. If you want to get real super degen with this shit, you want to go over 2 first quarter rebounds. That's also on Underdog. You can do that. You are getting a little bit of a better number on her first quarter points because they're at 3.5. So there is no push potential there. However, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games where she's gone under. Yeah, I would stay away from these. I think a lot of players are going to play the over on her first quarter points because of what she did here. But that's like, she's got to get you 4 points in 8 minutes. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but the way I look at those, if there's just not a lot of data that supports the over, and you find yourself reaching and it feels like it's like too thin, you're really like shrinking the landscape. Like you go from the full game to the first quarter and she has to get this done in 8 minutes. What if she has a bad shooting quarter? You go under, but then she makes up for it in the first half, second half, you know? I don't think that's a very good line. We've seen some really good first quarter lines. I don't think that's a good line. The first quarter lines on Underdog, I don't think they're good at all. So I think the best line for her is her first half fantasy on PrizePicks. Take the over on that one. That's a lot of time spent on Ezzy. Which one, T? Who you talking about? Ogumake or Magbagor? Ongabawale. Let's see. David Fry, hits, runs, RBIs. Cheyenne Parker, over rebounds. MJ Melendez, hits, runs, and RBIs. Asia Wilson fantasy, 70 fantasy points. Is she really? Now I know she hit 70 fantasy points in one game. I remember that. I remember seeing that final score. I had to like wipe my eyes. 70, 70, 60. Yeah, this is ridiculous, dude. That's fun. Taking fantasy scores on players like this is super fun, even when it's a big number like that. That's really fun. Tara McCowan. What was the play for Cheyenne Parker over rebounds? Okay, we'll come back to her. My girl Cameron Brink finally had a good game. Go right back to the under on her ass. I'm not gonna put it on the board, but usually when a player does chalk, I try to go back to him as soon as possible. Where's McCowan? So McCowan does not have a fantasy score. She's not even on the board. Am I spelling her name wrong? It's McCowan, right? She's not even on the board. Yeah. Let's go to David Fry. Over hits, runs, RBIs. Parker. All right. Melendez over hits, runs, RBIs too. Oh, yeah. Oh, got you. Yeah. I got you, T. Yeah. All right. Parker over rebounds. There she is. All right. Is that only 4 players? All right. Oh, they took Asia Wilson off. Did I? Oh, wait. Did I? There you go. Okay, I thought we had 5. All right, cool. Let's look at these over on props.cash. So we have 2 MLB plays and 3 WNBA plays. All right, it's David Fry and MJ Melendez. Let's look at those first, since there are fewer of those. By the way, I'm glad I saw this one. Mackenzie over hits today. Got 3 books that like the over on this one. Pinnacle, Caesars, BetMGM. He is projected for just 4 hits, but the odds say differently. And he has been giving up a ton of hits. I don't think 9 is ever. I think that's a bit of an outlier for him, but it is kind of what he does. He will give up some hits, hard contact, but this matchup today with the Reds is the kind of matchup that you could see 5+ hits allowed. Now, we kind of don't want him to get rocked too hard in this game because there's a possibility of him being pulled early, right? Some of these games, 12 innings, 5 innings is kind of the av, but you do want him to be in the game a little longer than 5 innings. The longer he's in the game, the more upside those hits have for the over. I mean, unless he just gets absolutely shelled in the first 2, 3 innings and gives up like 6 hits, then you're good. But kind of want that balance where he's getting hit, but he's not getting destroyed, and he stays in 6 innings. But this one looks good to me. The over on his hits allowed today. I don't know where you can find a strikeout prop at 4.5, but if you can, that one's getting major juice to the over. FanDuel has it. All right, let's look at David Fry. Who does David Fry play for? Cleveland? Yep. All right, so looking at the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs today, -110 over to 120 under. He's gone over in his last six of his last 10 games, 2 of his last 5. He's projected for 1.63. Got a hit. It's going to be a single, and then he will score a run, I guess. There's no other projection that favors that, but you do have it right there. His hits today, 190 to go over. What if he just gets 2 hits today? It's possible he gets 2 hits. No information versus Brent Sutter. BVP, only person on this team, only dude on this team with some plate appearances is Ramirez. He's a 1 for 3. Struck out once, hit safe once, and then I guess just grounded out or something. Now, this Guardians offense versus lefties. You got David Fry in there batting .370 versus lefties, 20% strikeout rate, and a 23% walk rate. So walks don't help your hits, runs, or RBIs alone, but if he gets on base and he's able to score a run off that walk, then that does count. So it does help get you closer. However, you just want him to actually hit a single or something to get on base. Then he could score a run. And then there's your 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. The walks don't help you outright, but they can lead to a run, which is part of that hits, runs, and RBIs. David Fry versus lefties on the year. Again, crushing it. He's got 5 homers in there as well. And then Sutter versus righties like Fry. Nice little lefty-righty matchup, allowing a 300 batting average, 3 homers, 6 doubles, and 15 singles. So almost 30 more plate appearances for right-handed batters, but obviously way more production being given up. Yeah, that one was good. What's his home run prop today? Plus 450. All right, let's check out this MJ Melendez. .380 for a home run, 3 in his last 10. That's pretty damn good. -235 to go over a hit. All right, so hits, runs, and RBIs. You're getting a much more favorable odds for the over, but just on 2 books, -130, -135, 0 juice to the under. So the odds are definitely in favor of this. Projections do not like this at all, though. Not getting good projections, but I don't really care because the odds speak louder to me. Numbers against Marcus Stroman, there is none. There's no plate appearances, so we can't look at any data versus Stroman. In fact, the team as a whole has not done very well against Stroman. Perez and Renfroe are the only 2 batters who have some exposure, and they're not striking out a lot. They're just not hitting. They're not getting on base. Now, on the season versus righties, Melendez batting 166, 218 ISO, 27% strikeout rate. So you can see right here, Melendez versus right-handed pitching has a terrible batting average. He's basically Joey Gallo versus righties. Okay. sub 200 batting average, but power, right? 7 homers, 8 doubles, 2 triples. He has 17 extra base hits this season with 16 RBIs versus right-handed pitching. The average is low, so he's striking out a lot. He's striking out a lot. Stroman versus lefties. This is kind of where you're hoping the over comes through because Melendez is smashing for power and Stroman is giving up power to lefties. The batting average is respectable at 258, but 6 homers, 2 triples, and 8 doubles. These are almost identical numbers to what Melendez is doing already. 7, 2, and 8, 6, 2, and 8. So that's just coincidental. That doesn't mean anything. But Stroman giving up power to lefties, Melendez smashing righties. So you're looking at some favorable numbers there. And then again, his home run odds plus 380. So maybe those correlate. Maybe find a home run prop for him today and just try to leverage it. You like the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs. You may just want to roll all 3 into different slips. Over hits, runs, and RBIs, over home run, and then over fantasy points if you can find those. And go for the trifecta. All right, let's take a look at Aja Wilson. Is it Aja? I'm going to say Asia. I think there are much more cooler names in the WNBA than NBA. All right, so we're looking at her fantasy score today, 55 and a half, 55. Let's call it 56 fantasy points. So let's look at her average. Let's look at her projections today. 30 points, 11 rebounds. So that's 13. That's 43. 43 plus 4.5 is 47 and a half. Plus 12. 59 and a half fantasy points minus 2 turnovers is 57. So that's a pretty conservative breakdown just going by projections. She's right in that 57 range with turnovers. If we want to look at the odds and see if the odds align with the projections, I got a split on her points here, but there's an over, there's an under, there's another under, there's an under. So let's say she gives you 27 points, not 29. Let's say she goes out there and gets you 11 rebounds, which I think was already in play. So 13.2 plus 27 is 40.2. Assists really aren't there for her. So we're at 40.2 fantasy points plus 2 assists. That's 43.2. We don't even have odds on her steals and blocks. So let's say she goes out there and gets you 4. That's 12. Was that 50, like 55-ish fantasy points? 55-ish, and then minus turnovers, it's like 53-ish fantasy points. So we got a range here of 53 to 57, and that's like just not going too high or too low on any of these numbers. It's super possible that she goes out there and gets you 5 or 6 blocks and steals. If she goes out there and gets you 6 blocks and steals, she's crushing her fantasy score. If she goes out there and scores 30 fantasy points, she's going well over, because we're so close to the over on her line without getting too crazy with any one of her projections, that if she is to go over one of her projections and have like a fucking crazy scoring night or 9 blocks and steals, you're going over. You're already so close. So we're building it out pretty conservatively and giving her room for one of these high upside nights for her blocks and steals or points. I mean, damn, if she goes out there and grabs you 13 rebounds, you're probably going over fantasy score at that point. So I think that one's in play. That one might just be fun to play and watch, you know, like watch the aces play tonight and just like have your fantasy score shit, right? You know, just tracking it as that. Those are fun. Those are real fun. All right, so we like that one. Our Magbagor fantasy score got bumped up to 18.5. I say still play the over on that one because the way we were projecting it, she was giving us about 19 to 20 fantasy points. So you can still play the over on her 18.5. But lock it in. I mean, the way it's moving, it's probably going to bump up again. Parker over rebounds, I think, was the other one. She plays for the Atlanta Dream. I know that. All right, so 5.5 is her line today. Projected for 5.57. Even on ESPN Bet, under on Hard Rock, under on FanDuel, under on Fliff, under on Bet Rivers, under on Bet MGM. A lot of these books have the under on her rebounds today. From what I remember playing her last season, she was not a big rebounder. In the games that I chose her to go over her lines, she rarely did. Head-to-head matchup with the Mystics does offer some upside. She's gotten you the over in 4 out of her last 9 games. One of those games came this season with 9. So there's the upside right there. We got recent game logs with the over. I mean, these are pretty decent hit rates, you know, 9, 8, 6, 60%, 50%. 53 over the last 15 games. I mean, these are decent hit rates. We don't dislike this. The one thing that I dislike are the odds. I got 7 books that don't like the over at all. And you got a projection that is telling you that the over is in play. So sometimes you get these props where you're not going to get unanimous information to one side. So you just got to make a decision based off what you're seeing with game logs. What do you think is going to happen? You could just go with the odds and say the odds say under, so I'm taking the under. But 5.5 is a pretty low line. She's done it already against this team. Washington, not that good. I mean, they are defending the glass pretty well. I mean, it's not terrible, right? 5th, allowing 35 boards. We don't need her to get 35 boards today. We need her to get 6. So I think that's in play. I would like to see a few books like take the over on this one, but we're just getting so much juice to the under. I'd like to see at least one of these books like the fucking over on her prop. Man. All right. 6 up, 6 down. I really like these two. Again, with the Melendez play. So his numbers against Stroman, or his numbers versus righties, fantastic in terms of power. Average, terrible, right? Low batting average, high strikeout, high power. Joey Gallo. But we saw pretty decent home run odds for him here. So there's his home run line right there. And he does not have a fantasy score. So listen, if you're high on MJ Melendez today, you think he does do a bit of damage today versus Stroman, who has given up power to lefties this season. I mean, you take the over on his home run, you take the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs, you take the over on his total bases, you take the over on his RBI, you take the over. I mean, I'm not saying you have to play all of these, but what's happening is if he hits a home run, he goes over literally all of these at the same time. That's 4 bases for a home run. That's an RBI. You score a run. You're over hits, runs, and RBIs. So if you want to play that, that's one way you can leverage that matchup, or just pick your favorite one and be done with it. Shit, I might do that. I think I just talked myself into doing that. I think I might do that today. We still got Taco Tuesday, so we still have the taco to play. But here's what we broke down. Over on Fry, over Melendez. Cheyenne Parker's the only one I'm like, I don't know. But within a 6-pick or a 5-pick, it's worth a shot. Wilson over fantasy score. We did 2 projections for her, both very conservative, and she's right there. She's either right at that mark or over it, but with a strong scoring night or stronger defensive night, she could just shatter this again. And then liking the over on Ezzy's first half fantasy score, as the way we broke it down, had her in that 19 to 20, 21 point range for first half. So you can play those in the slip if you want. Ohtani over 0.5 home run. What's up, JR? What's up, man? The Ohtani over 0.5 home runs, 2 RBIs, and bets to go over 1 hits. Is that a well, he has a 2. Ohtani has a 2 RBI prop. Oh, is that his demon play? There's Ohtani's home run. I don't see a 2 prop. I see 2.5 hits, runs, RBIs. Even his RBI is just at 0.5. Bets to get a hit. That's it. Betts is at a 0.5 hit? No way. Single. Is that a promo somewhere, JR? Oh man. All right. What's up, Steven Lawing? Good morning. I have a question. Do you use Outlier with the $20 plan or the $80 plan? Neither. So I use props.cash right now. What you're seeing, this is props.cash. I do have a monthly with props.cash. So that answers your question. Not the answer you wanted because we're on different platforms, but I mean, whatever optimizer or whatever researching tool that you use, not just you, but people in general, it's still good, because I can't tell you how many people out there are still just gutting it out, trying to outsmart the books, trying to be better than Vegas, We're already at a huge disadvantage versus the books. We just are. So whatever edge you can get is super needed. So whatever you're using, Outlier, props.cash, it's all good. Skylar Diggins Smith over points. This is the blog. When you join props.cash, it's there. It's free. It's a free blog. So I mean, you definitely get it when you join, because it's part of the homepage. You can also sign up for their newsletter, and this comes to you as well. But there's a point prop. This is a nice little breakdown over why it's a good prop. You got Nafisa Collier over 3-pointers made. You're probably not going to be able to find this on any pick'em site. So yeah, minus 260 to go over is ridiculous. Alicia Gray, talking about her point prop here. Victoria Vivian's, literally never heard of her until now. Don't know who that is, but rebound prop of 3.5 to go over. Nice little breakdown there. Alicia Clark 7.5 points breakdown here. There's a lot of WNBA plays that they're breaking down in this blog. So that's why I always reference that. It's a good start to your research. What's up, Vu? Ooh, Paul Skeeny, 5.5. That's scary because I would have taken the over on a 7, but they're dropping it to 5, which makes me feel like they know something I don't. McKenzie over 3.5 strikeouts. We talked about the over on his hits allowed at 4.5. So I kind of don't like that one because if he's striking motherfuckers out, they're not getting hits off him. So I don't really care about that one. Tyler Miggle. Man, these are some whack ass players. Oh man. I think who's Philly playing? Is it they're playing Boston? Your cousin from Boston. Have you ever seen those Sam Adams commercials with the cousin from Boston? He's like crashing the wedding and shit. He has that. He just has. I don't know. I think you had to have lived in Boston or just been around people from Boston. Just the mannerisms, obviously the accent. It's just everything. It's such a perfect commercial for Boston, but those are so fun. Those Sam Adams commercials are really fun. The Samuel Jackson is even better though. Bitch. Zach Wheeler over 6.5 strikeouts. So this one was already getting juice to the over, and if we have a potential taco at 5.5 for Zach Wheeler, you know, this one looks strong to me. He's projected for 7. Man, Boston is K'ing their ass off, man. 24.1% versus right-handed pitching. BVP looks okay. You got Duran, Valdez, Dominic Smith, who have hit Wheeler pretty well. But you do have some bats in there that have yet to find success, such as Devers, O'Neill, Wong. Got it. So honestly, I think this Wheeler one is a strong possibility. I'm sure Skeens will win the voting just because he's a rookie phenom, and you know, it just reminds me of the hype around Spencer Strider. Like every start, you were just taking the over on Strider's strikeouts. I mean, he is just mowing teams down. He's doing a great job of keeping the runs down too. Usually with power pitchers, at some point you see that start to backfire on them because, you know, the harder you throw, the further that ball travels when they do make contact. And, you know, if there are runners on, you're talking about a triple clearing, you know, clearing the base pass there. You're down 3-0, 4-0, just like that. So far, we have not seen him get destroyed. And those strikeouts are up. But look, at 7.5, he was getting odds to go under this on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 books. At 5.5, obviously, that's a much better line. He's literally gone over in 80% of those first 5 starts. His matchup today versus St. Louis, also striking out at a pretty higher clip versus right-handed pitching. You have currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players in this lineup that are over 20. I mean, you got these guys. These guys are over 30. I mean, they're in a new stratosphere in this bitch. Talking about taking it to a new level. Those motherfuckers are on it. 32.8 and 35.4, 27.4. I mean, even these guys who are below 20, I mean, 16%, 15%, 19. A lot of these guys are whiffing at a higher rate. Very low walk rates too. So I would say out of those taco options, Skeens and Wheeler are my favorite. But honestly, I think the strikeout potential for Wheeler versus Boston is pretty good. I like that one the best. I'll probably roll with that one. Hopefully one of those two hits gets the taco. I don't have any interest in these other fools. Oh man, if you're getting that on a sports book, hell yeah. The bots are always voting. Cousin Vinny. Yeah, is that him? Your cousin from Boston. We need McKenzie, or we do? Why? Why do you like those vibes? Paul Skeens at 40%, Tristan McKenzie at 33%. The only reason I don't like McKenzie is because I like the over on his hits. It's very possible for him to get both, go over hits and then get over strikeouts. And 3.5 is super low. It does remind me of the Seth Lugo play at 2.5. Was it 2.5? And he finished, or was it 3.5? He finished with exactly 4. And that's what scares me about those super low strikeout rates. They're not dropping them that low for a reason. Like, they're not dropping them that low for our benefit. And so it just worries me a little bit. Whereas a pitcher like Skeens can probably have a bad start and still make up for it with strikeouts. Same with Wheeler. That's why I'm favoring those two. Loved game 2 of the finals. When that Luka news broke about him being downgraded to questionable, I was like, what are y'all doing, man? Fucking trolls. I think news like that is announced to benefit the books, because I don't know how the betting worked in that situation where news comes out that Luke is downgraded to questionable. Do people start playing more Kyrie and Washington plays or whatever because they're trying to leverage the possibility of him not playing? It's all bullshit, man. Like, that dude was never in doubt. He was gonna play. Give me a break. No, what's up? What you got, Rosalie? We'll look up that Suzuki for Mark. What's up, Mark? Nice stinking. I just feel like Skeens being more popular is a curse pot. Yeah, that's. I mean, the first when Vu put this up, I saw Skeens. Oh shit! When I saw Skeens, I said, "Oh, that worries me a little bit." You know, to see him up there. We've seen this happen before, right? With very popular players, and you're just like scratching your head, like, why? We see it with Brunson a lot. I just, NBA stands out to me the most, but I mean, if out of those 4, you know, Skeens is a true power strikeout pitcher, and Wheeler can rack him up. I like Wheeler's matchup versus Boston, even though I want to see Boston do well. They strike out a lot. They strike out a lot. Whichever one they play. I mean, whoever wins. It's whatever, man. We don't have to play it. Look, if this could be a day where, if we think there's something fishy with Skeens, then we just take the under on the 7. You know, take the under on the 7. Took the under on Alyssa Thomas last week. I played both. Same exact 5 pick. One had Alyssa Thomas taco. The other one had Alyssa Thomas OG. The one with the OG did better. The one with the taco chalked. I just didn't like the fact that her shit was being dropped by 7 whole PRA. That to me screamed something's up. That's a big drop off. 7.5 PRA. That's a lot, man. So in those situations, I'll play both. Oh, appreciate that, Mark. Thanks, man. Thank you. Jaylen Brown points and assists, and I'm going right back to Al Horford first half. You like the over on Jaylen Brown points and assists or under? Goblins turn into tacos like, yep. Yep. All right, let's pull up these last few plays. Asia Wilson just got bumped up to 56. But check this out. Check this out. So when we were talking about Asia Wilson's fantasy points, when we were doing this on props.cash, I said let's just round it up to 56. So the projections that we were creating based off odds and then based off the actual projections, we were gunning for over 56. So I'm not bothered by this shit at all. So they can bump it up to 56. I'd still take the over on that one because what we did backs up that bump. So I'm fine with that one. It also lets you know that you might be on the right track if your plays are kind of getting bumped. I mean, it tells you that your research is good, that your process is good, and that you're seeing it the right way. Not always, right? But that's how I take it. It's like, oh shit, something just popped. I mean, so everything that I said about this play is true. Makes me feel a little better. All right, let's look at who was it? Suzuki over hits, runs, RBIs. Trust. Does he have a home run prop? No. Does he have fantasy? All right, we're going to take some of these plays. Again, so we talked about over on David Fry, over on Melendez, over on Parker, over on Magbagor, and then over on Wilson's fantasy score. I know a lot of overs. We don't always take overs. Overs just happen to be what we like for those plays. I know overs are sexy, but unders also pay out. And then let's look at Jaylen Brown points and assists, and then Al Horford first half. Man, I took the under on Jaylen Brown's turnovers last game. This dude doubled that shit up. I needed him to get 2 or less, and he got 6. We can always switch it. And then Horford first half. Yeah, so just keep in mind any NBA play that you're putting in a slip today, you're just gonna have to wait it out till tomorrow. So if you see a play that you like, lock it up. I'm sure it'll bump up at some point. Where's Horford? PRA. There you go. We haven't really talked a lot of NBA today. So did we? Oh, we did. Start the stream off. Jason Tatum over rebounds. Jaylen Brown under his rebounds and assist. Josh Green over 3-pointers, although PrizePicks does not have that. At least they did not have it on the board. Yeah, Josh Green back at Josh Green over 3-pointers made. That one was in play too. All right, let's over. Got it. Okay. Unders, Matt Vierling from Detroit, free. Matt Vierling is one of my favorite players to take unders on. He's always, not always, but usually he comes through for us. Adam West, is that your first name? A West. Can Shohei get 2.5 hits, runs, and RBIs? Is that his demon prop? And it's only two higher than Horford. Damn. Yeah, 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. I mean, I don't know if he can get 2 hits, runs, and RBIs. We can look at it. All right, and we're gonna take Suzuki off fantasy points, but if we like what we see for hits, runs, and RBIs, fantasy points is another way to leverage that. Did they? Yeah, they took the total bases. They took all the good ones off for Matt Vierling. I'm sure they had him up earlier at some point. We just didn't see it in time. So we got Suzuki over, Brown over, Horford, Porzingis over, and then obviously we have to go over on the Demons for Ohtani. Can't go under on those. So let's go over to props.cash one more time and let's start breaking these down. Hit that like button. You are just joining, or if you've been on the stream, make sure you hit that like button. That goes a long way. And we're going to start off with this Suzuki play. That's so nice. Minus 125 to go over hits, runs, and RBIs today. Total bases. So weird how this is phenomenal production here, but it's so weird how total bases, you know, you would think that 2 total bases is not that many, but so many player props are under total bases. Very possible to go over hits, runs, and RBIs and not under total bases. We talk about this all the time. You can hit a single RBI single and then you score a run. You know, you can hit a single and, you know, hit a sac fly and then get walked to score a run. There's so many different scenarios where you can actually go over hits, runs, and RBIs with not a lot of hits, with just one hit. However, if you hit a fucking home run, you're guaranteed to go over hits, runs, and RBIs and total bases. So there's always that possibility. Plus 500 odds to go over his matchup today versus Zach Eflin is a good one. He's hit safely in 2 out of 3 plate appearances. So I'm assuming this is all in one game. A double and a single. That's 3 total bases right there. You have quite a few Cubs in this lineup that have hit Eflin well. You have Tauchman, Suzuki leading it off. You got Bellinger in there. And then down there at the bottom, you got Dansby, Swanson. So you do have 4 bats in this lineup that have hit Eflin well. Swanson's seen a lot of Eflin, 30 plate appearances. Bellinger's next with 13. You do have some pretty nasty strikeout rates here. Righties versus the Cubs this season. These dudes hit Eflin a little bit better than they do just, you know, any righty pitcher. But still, Tauchman and Suzuki are leading off. If that's the batting order, or they're the 2 of the first 3 batters you see, Suzuki has a huge strikeout rate. Suzuki versus right-handed pitching this season. 291 batting average, 19 singles, 8 doubles, 1 triple, 4 homers, and he does have a 29% strikeout rate. Eflin versus right-handed bats, giving up a 306 batting average. I mean, he's giving up power. 8 home runs on the season, 7 of them coming from the right side of the plate. 16 combined total base hits, 28 singles. He's also allowed, I can't see RBIs. Bitch. He's giving up some production. Projection 1.63. There's the over there. Fantasy points are at 7. So if he gets you a hit, it's a single. That's 3 points. So like 6 fantasy points. That's just based off projections. If we take a look at Eflin is projected for five strikeouts, 2.4 earned runs, and 6 hits. I mean, that's not a bad projection. It doesn't sound like he's going to get destroyed, but that's just him. That's just him. If he goes 6 innings, you still got to bring in the bullpen. You still got to bring in relievers. So there's room for production in terms of the fantasy points. Or you don't have to play his fantasy points. You can just stick to his hits, runs, and RBIs. Let's look at this Ohtani. Hits, runs, and RBIs. Can he get 2.5? So 2.5 is his normal line. PrizePicks went ahead and made it his demon line because it was getting such poor odds to go over. So 130 to the under on both BetMGM and DraftKings. So that's what happens there. He's only gone over this line in 3 of his last 10 games. Head-to-head matchup with the Rangers. Looks a little good. Looks a little better, right? Numbers today, Dane Dunning. So he's hit Dane Dunning fairly well in terms of just like bases, but the average is a little low. Strikeout rate versus Dunning is also pretty low. So under 20% strikeout rate and almost 20% walk rate. Plate appearances can be a little deceiving because if you have a player who's drawing a lot of walks, that does not count as a hit. So, you know, you see a player's numbers versus a pitcher, you do have to factor walks in there. So he has 28 plate appearances versus Dunning. He has an 18% walk rate. He has 5 walks. So 5 walks against Dunning. So that could be a reason why the average is so low. I mean, he's striking out, obviously, but he's hit for power, a little power, you know, double, triple, single, and RBI. He's missing a home run. So how cool would it be if he does hit a home run and completes the cycle versus Dunning? He does have plus 235 odds to go yard. Is he due 4 straight games of 0 home runs? Look at that. 1 home run, 1, 2, 3, 4. Home run, 1, 2, 3, 4. Home run. Do we see a home run today for Ohtani? Because it looks like every 4 games he's hitting a home run. Every 5 games he's hitting a home run. I don't know. You could try it. But if you think he hits a home run, then you should like the over on his RBI hits, runs, and RBIs, because all that gets lumped in with a home run. All right, let's look at some first half NBA, and then we'll call it a stream. Appreciate y'all being here today. Been on the stream for almost 2 hours. All right, we're going to look at Al Horford. First half PRA is at 9. So even at 9, it doesn't really change any of the hit rate, because these 2 games he's well under. So he still has an 80% hit rate over his last 10 playoff games. Let's look at just playoffs, and then we'll look at the last 15 playoff games. So pretty much the entire playoff series, all the series combined, he does have a 67% hit rate. 10 out of 15 games, he's averaging 10 PRA in the first half. So That's with 3 games with Porzingis in there as well before Porzingis got hurt. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He's playing a good amount of minutes. He's too important to the rotation. He has a great role. He's going to produce. He's not out there just to hold a space. He's active. So 10 is definitely within range for Al Horford. Going to look at Kristaps Porzingis. Not as many playoff games. So not as many playoff games for Porzingis. When we look at this in the playoff games he has been a part of, he has gone over this line in 5 out of 6 games. I mean, you're getting his line today on PrizePicks at 10.5. That's what it is here. In 2 games versus Dallas, I mean, both of these are playoff games. Significant drop off from game 1 to game 2. Doesn't matter. You need 11. He's giving you 11 or more. Yeah, those 2 are in play. And then we could take a look at this Jaylen Brown points and assists prop full game. Looking at the over. So Jaylen Brown is at 25.5. Under in game 1, over in game 2. Entire playoff series, all the series. He has a 67% hit rate. He's averaging 28 points and assists in the playoffs, 10 out of 15 games. We don't really have a unanimous trend here, but we are seeing in games where he does fall off, he does bounce back. This is the only instance where he did have back-to-back games of under this line. He did hook it, but if he started here, he goes under, he bounces back, he goes under, he bounces back, he goes under, he bounces back, he goes under, he bounces back. All but this game, he has strung at least 2 games together. So two straight games of overs before falling under, 2 straight games of overs before falling under, 4 straight overs under. So you're not really seeing him fluctuate like one off, one on. He's usually giving you a couple of games before you see another under. So, I mean, this could be a good opportunity to strike on the over based off momentum and then just based off what we're seeing here with the trends. And then this game is going to be in Dallas. So this will be the first game versus Dallas in Dallas. So we're going to look at his away games in the playoffs. This is going back to last season. So let's look at the last 10 away games for Jaylen Brown. Not as strong of a hit rate. He is playing good though. I mean, 60% hit rate, 50% hit rate here. Maybe you just want to pay attention to this. Last 4 road games in the playoffs, he has gone over this line. He's crushed. So however you slice it, you can look at this in a bunch of different ways. You can make a case in a bunch of different ways. I think you have enough information here to like the over outright. But if you want to get specific and look at the away games and then look at the trends when he has a bad game, coming off a bad game, what does he do? You have all that information here. So I think it looks good. All right. So what we did here is we took the over on Suzuki. We took the over on Brown. We took the over on Horford. We took the over on Porzingis. And then, we took the over on this Ohtani only because we have to with a demon play. If you want to try to go a bit more conservative with Ohtani, you can look to his total bases. You can also look to his hitter fantasy score. And that's about it. Everything else is going to be a goblin. So if you think he has a good game, we talked about his home run trends, kind of, nothing concrete, but based off what we saw, every 4 games he's hitting a home run. So every 5th game he's hitting a home run. Today's his 5th game after hitting a home run. So is he due for another home run? If you like the over on his home run, and then you also like the over on his hits, runs, and RBIs, you also like the over on his RBIs, because all 3 of those are connected to a home run. So there you go. You can just leverage those if you want to. I mean, shit, if you want to get really, really degenerate with it and just go for home runs with Ohtani, we talked about the home run upside of Melendez today versus Stroman. You can just do that and go for the nice 75x right there. Right? Go for the nice 75x. Even if you just get these 4, you are walking away with a little something. If one of these guys hits a home run and the rest of this slip hits, then you're looking at a 7.5x payout, which is way better than your 2x. And obviously, if every single one of these plays hits, I mean, then $5 gets you $375. If you were to put 25 on this, you're looking at $1,875. So I'm just saying, we already talked about these home run props. They're in play. Oh, McKenzie is okay. Well, I'll figure it out. Hopefully he can get me 4 hits and 4 strikeouts. 5 hits and 4 strikeouts is what I need. All right. We got unders on Matt Vierling. Yeah, if you can find Matt Vierling under total bases, that's always in play. Porzingis, we talked about first half. Yeah, we already talked about Ohtani. The home run upside is there. We also talked about his cadence for home runs every 5 games. So far, what we're seeing is when he hits a home run, and then Tristan McKenzie is our first taco. So they haven't put it on the board yet. No, not yet. Okay. So when that taco drops, if you want to take it a bit more conservative, you can remove these 2 home run props and then put the taco in place. Tristan McKenzie hits his taco today, and then Suzuki needs to go over, and then you're just waiting these 3 outs for tomorrow. So that would be a 5 pick, a 10x if all hit. If you want to still get a little risky, but minimize the risk, you can take one of these props out, put the taco in, and then you have a pretty good chance of hitting 5 out of 6 on this one if the home run doesn't come through. In the event the home run does come through, you're cashed. So a few different ways you can play the taco slip or build a taco slip. Speaking of taco slips, I will be sharing a couple of my taco slips in the Discord today. So I'll share those with everybody. So you don't have to be a premium member to see those. I'll share those with everybody, and then you can tell them or fade them or whatever you want to do. You'll have access to it. So keep your eyes open for that one. If Underdog does run out any promos, you typically see promos on the days that PrizePicks runs promos because they're in direct competition with each other. So that's great for us. We usually get double promos. So keep your eyes open for any Underdog promos or any better promos. So I don't know if you've noticed that, but PrizePicks was one of the first pick'em sites to start running these types of promos, and here comes everybody else. So better for us. The better discounts, the more discounts we get, the better, and the more bankroll we can make. So That's going to do it for today's live stream, everybody. Hit that like button on your way out. Appreciate you being here. We talked a lot of player props today, a lot of WNBA props today. Asia Wilson over fantasy score, Ezzy McBagor over first half fantasy. Those are two of our favorite ones today. You can also look to take the under on the Feast of Colliers PRA, full game PRA versus the Aces. Kayla McBride over 3.5 assists on underdog is giving you a boost. You can shoot your shot on that one, get a little bit more payout. Those are a few of the ones we talked about today, but hit that like button on your way out. Sub up to the channel if you have not done so already. It goes a long way in helping the channel get bigger. You already know that. We'll be back tomorrow, 8:50 a.m. with another Player Prop Talk live stream. Hopefully we have some profit to talk about. Hopefully all tacos hit, no spoiled tacos. Hopefully we got a lot of celebrating to do tomorrow. A lot of winning slips. So that is to come tomorrow. Appreciate y'all being here once again. Best of luck to you all. And until tomorrow's Player Prop Talk live stream, Chavez is out.